Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope everybody is doing well. And so, happy Friday, everybody. Today is going to be a session where I'm going to be sharing a lot of 411 information regarding creating hats. Okay, I want to talk to you guys all about hats today. I'm going to be talking to you guys about doing hats on a multi-needle machine and also on a flatbed single needle machine. So if you have the SC1900, don't worry, I'm going to be covering that. If you got the SC2000, going to be covering that too. If you have a multi-needle machine, don't worry, got you also. We're going to be talking about that. As you can see right here behind me, I've got a whole bunch of hats. So I can kind of say I went hat shopping. Okay, so I bought a whole lot of hats out here, and I've been trying all these different techniques. I have tried two different techniques, and I'm actually going to even probably show you guys some of the things that I've been doing in Brilliance with hats, okay, and show you some nice distress techniques that have been pretty popular with the hats lately. Not hard to do at all, and if you don't have an embroidery software, or you have a sublimation or something, I'm telling you this, I'm going to give you guys ideas. So grab those pen and papers, because guys are going to probably be writing things down. But you can always watch the replay too, right? I do have the replay button. Let me make sure I have the replay button checked on this video, because I know that a lot of you guys, and I do. Okay, cool. Because that way you guys can watch this video again if you miss anything, okay? Because I am really going to be talking a lot about hats, all right? Now, I got my little trusty notebook with all my little notes in here too as well. So that way I don't miss anything, all right? But I am going to have a bunch of stuff to show you guys. And I know something slipped my mind, because I was going to do something before I went live. But that's okay. I'm sure I'm going to remember when I get to it. But it's all right. I got it. I got my hat. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So why are we going to be talking about hats? Well, embroidering on hats is really a really quick way to make money. Embroidering hats is very, very, very popular. Okay, a lot of people, especially baseball hats like these, very, very popular. You can also embroider other hats. It doesn't just have to be baseball hats. A lot of people like to wear sun hats. You can embroider those. A lot of people like to wear like bucket hats like these. You can embroider this as well. There was another hat that came to my mind that beanies. Beanies are very popular, especially in the wintertime. Okay, lots of people wear beanies. So you would probably embroidering those, very, very simple as well. Yeah, so the thing with the hats too is they are not that expensive, okay, especially if you get them wholesale prices. If you go to some websites like jiffyshirts.com, or you can buy bulk. If you can find a place that have the wholesales prices for hats, they can be pretty inexpensive to buy, okay? And sometimes you don't have to buy like 10 or 20 or 100 of them, okay? You can just buy about maybe like 5 or 10, and they're pretty affordable, and after you embroider them, you can really sell them for quite a bit. If you go to a place called Lids, I know there's a Lids here in Virginia in the mall, and they have nothing but baseball hats. And if you go into the store and you look at their hats, right? And if you pick up one of their hats, which I kind of usually like to do, I like to go in there and I like to browse, and then I like to look at the hats that they have and how they embroider it. A lot of times they do 3D embroidery, and then when I go and I ask them how much the hat is, right, I'm really floored, because some of those hats, they're selling them for up to like $50 one hat, okay? They do beautiful work in the embroidery, and sometimes in the actual shop, they have an embroidery machine right there in the middle of the store, which I always like to look to see like what type of machine they're using. And it's pretty funny when you look at the embroidery of a store product, and then you can kind of like really look at how they embroider it and stuff like that, and then you're kind of like, man, I could do that. I mean, I do that, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, if they're selling the hats for 50, I mean, you could just sell them for that same price too. So this is really something that is pretty easy to do, very affordable. Okay. You know, I mean, no, embroidery is such a big business that you can just do anything. You can embroider coats, you can embroider jackets, you can embroider scarves, clothes, you know, bags, aprons, whatever, right? There, you know, I mean, there's like a saying, if I could hoop it, I can embroider it, you know. So I don't know if that's really true though, if we think about it, because there's, you know, you got to watch it with materials. Sometimes you got to watch it with the type of material, you know, you want to make sure that when you're doing embroidery that you're embroidering it really, really well. Okay. So, but you know, the thing is, one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to try out the hats. I do have a facility that's close to me. It's called Atlantic Coast Cotton, and what they do is they sell wholesale, and they're literally like not even like 15 minutes away from me. So I just went and I just bought a whole bunch of hats because I wanted to see how they feel, the different brands and everything, the texture and everything, and see how they embroider. And as you can see, man, they were pretty cool, and I really liked the selection of hats that they had. Okay, so let me see. So there are, when you're looking at these kind of hats, right? And I'm going to mostly talk about the baseball hats and stuff. Let me show you guys two brands that I have here. Okay. Baseball caps have so many different styles. Okay, they have the ones that are, they usually come in two types of textures, right? And I call it textures. I might be saying the wrong terminology, but some are structured hats and some are unstructured hats. Okay, now structured hats is when the front of the hat right here is pretty strong, right? Like right here, this is another one. This is pretty strong too. This is called a structure hat. Okay, now when you have an unstructured hat, it's a hat mostly like these. They're kind of flimsy, they're very soft. As you can see, it's pretty soft. I can just really like, you know, kind of crunch it and stuff like that. As for this, you're not going to want to crunch it. It's kind of like a more of a solid, you know, solid interface right here. Okay, so they're usually in the two types. Okay, you have your structure and you have your unstructured. I personally don't have a problem with embroidering either one of them. Okay, however, though, there are probably some type of embroidery that you could do on one type of hat versus another, and you wouldn't be able. Oh, thank you, Waverly, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that and stuff. Okay, you distracted me. Okay, let's come on now. Hacks 101. Okay. I will go through the chat. Trust me, I'm gonna go through the chat after I give you guys all the information, and I will answer any questions. If you got questions as I'm talking, okay, write them in the chat so that way I can address them. Okay. Also, just a 411. On this video in the description, I did link a couple of hat videos that I did that might help you guys. One is how I did the embroidery of a hat on a flatbed machine, which is really good if you have a single needle machine. That one's a good one to watch. It shows you exactly step by step how I did it, how you can do embroidery on 3D, which kind of falls in line with what I am going to tell you guys about right now. Because remember, when I was talking to you guys about, we have structured hats and we have unstructured hats, okay? They're both great to embroider. However, though, one of the things you have to think about is what you're going to be embroidering on these hats. Sometimes a particular style hat won't work with a specific style of embroidery that you want to do. If you watch the the video that I did where I did 3D puff embroidery, in the beginning of that video, right, I'm taking an unstructured hat like this. And then what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do puff embroidery on the unstructured hat. Now, it didn't come out great, okay? And I left that mistake in the video because I actually like people to see my boo-boos, okay? Because when you see the boo-boos, that's how you learn, okay? Now, it could be, and I'm going to rewatch that video, it could be that maybe I didn't hoop the hat correctly to the machine, and maybe that's why my embroidery was off. But if you watch that video, you're going to notice that the fabric, okay, when I was doing the 3D, it shifted. And when it shifted, did not come out good at all. Then I went and I took a structured hat and I tried to do the 3D buff embroidery, and it came out beautiful. It really came out beautiful, okay? I mean, it didn't shift or anything like that. So to me, I kind of came to the conclusion as to when I am doing 3D buff embroidery, it's best to do it on a structured hat and not do it on one of these hats that are very soft on the top, okay? Because you don't want the fabric to shift, all right? Now, when you're doing 3D puff embroidery, it's kind of different because first of all, you have to have a special file that does 3D puff embroidery, okay? And you have to use foam. And that's what I forgot to bring out to show you guys. And I have it right here. Hold on, I'm going to move this over. There you go. I got it. All right. Got all my foam here. All right, got it. So I can show you guys what the foam actually looks like, okay? And stuff. But I'm going to pull out the 3D and I'll show that to you. But I'm going to try to go down my list as I have it. So you guys that watch my video, you guys know I just kind of go with the flow, okay? I like to give you guys the 411. You just got to bear with me, all right? But I do, and I have the fan going, so everything's like flying and stuff like that because I think I'm going through hot flashes or something like that. So anyway, so I need my fan. All right, let me turn this off because right now I'm okay. Let me see. Okay, hold on. All right, cool. All right, so no more phone. Well, I got that fan going too. All right. So I talked about the problem, profit. Y'all know my Spanglish, okay? Profitability. Is it a word? Okay. It makes profit, okay? You can make some money on some hats, all right? Because like I said, if you buy them wholesale, usually you can get a hat for like $5, $6, $7, or even $8, right? And then you go ahead and you embroider it, and then you can probably sell that hat for about $20, $25. So you can make a really huge profit on hats, okay? Now, I want to write down, hold on, this is, I can't see. Okay. That's my driving glasses, all right? Okay. So, well, I already told you they are pretty cheap to buy. They're not expensive. They do have different styles though, okay? They have like fitted hats. They also have the hats that have like, this has the little leather strap in the back, okay? Then sometimes you have hats that have these type of plastic, okay? And then you have the fitted hats where there is no closure, all right? And those are the hats that you could kind of buy in the small, medium, large, or extra large sizes, okay? So, and those run a little bit more, but they're not like super expensive either, okay? If you buy them wholesale and stuff, okay? Now, the thing also is these things, like I said, they're not that hard to embroider. Once you have the method down pat, you're golden. You're really golden. You're good, okay? Once you know exactly how to hoop it, how to position the hat on your machine, you're going to be fine, and stuff. The other thing that's really good about embroidering hats and makes it so profitable is that hats, because they're a small item, okay, a lot of times the embroidery on these hats are not that huge. And because they're not huge, they're usually very simple designs, and they're not very time consuming. So that's one of the things that really make it profitable is that because it's small, sometimes it's just a name. You may have times where a person may want a logo or something like that. But the thing is, the space in the front is not so huge, like a shirt or anything like that, that it's not going to take that much time to really do. Okay. It's really something that's pretty simple and stuff. Okay. And they're actually pretty fun to make too. They really are. They're pretty quick. And, to me, it's a quick way to make a buck. All right. Now, let's talk about the embroidery. I have the embroidery here. Now, there's different types of embroidery designs that a lot of people like to use on the hats. All right. Now, one is patches. Sometimes people like that patch look on top of a hat. Sometimes people want you to embroider straight on the hat. Sometimes, it'll be a nice little logo or stuff like that. Sometimes also it'll be a simple name or a simple word, very similar to like this. Okay. This is kind of like a distressed patch look. And here's a little thing. Isn't that cute? Now I'm going to show you how to do this and stuff. And I'm actually going to do a video. The thing is that I only bought one hat. I bought this one hat because I just wanted to test this out. I didn't realize how cute it was going to come out. Now that it's cute, I'm like, okay, I got to redo this hat because I definitely want to make it a little bit better. One of the things that I want to do better is, and I'm going to reach out to Fossil, is I want that outline to be a little more solid. I don't think it's solid, right? It's just, to me, when you're the embroiderer, you kind of see the little things that should be improved upon, right? Because it's something that you do. But I bet you if a customer would have picked this up, they would be like, oh, it's perfect, I'll buy it. But to me, it's just certain little things that I just want fixed. And I'm going to point out some of the things that as an embroiderer, you would right away kind of notice, okay? Now, I want you to look at the front right here, right on the top. Look at this line right here. See how it doubles up? See how it doubles up? And then when you look at the rest of the outline, it doesn't. See that? Look at the top right here. See, that doubles up right there. Okay? And then the A, I had a little trouble with the A. So to me, the A doesn't look solid. See, it looks a little fuzzy. I had to do a little cleanup on that, So to me, it wasn't to my standard. Okay? So I'm going to redo this so that it is on my standard. And when I redo it, I am going to videotape it step by step so you guys can see, just in case you guys want to do something similar to this, okay? Where you want to have that distressed patch. I mean, it's so cute. It's a really cute. I really like the way this came out. So this is actually going to be my hat because I don't mind wearing the little arrows and stuff like that. But for selling, I have to make this perfect, okay? And so there's different types of embroidery styles that you can do with a hat. All right. Like I said, sometimes people want patches. All right. Sometimes people just want straight out names. All right. Sometimes people may come out and say, hey, I want an applique on the hat. Here's an applique. This is an example of an applique on a hat. Okay. And I think I have a video on how I did this. If I did, I will put this on the video description so you guys can see this, okay? I will put that on there. Sometimes what will happen also is people may come out and say, hey, I want 3D puff embroidery, okay? And, these are just different types of designs that you may have. Now, this is 3D puff embroidery. As you can see how it's raised? You could tell that it's kind of raised on the side. Okay. All right. There's 3D puff embroidery and stuff. Sometimes people might come out and say, hey, I see this really cute embroidery file. I want you to put it right in front of a hat. Can you make little custom hats? Here's another one. Really cute. The customer wanted a nice little picture and stuff, and then just some wording in there. So I put that on there. Here's another one for domino players out there. Really cute dominoes and stuff. This is just straight out embroidery, okay? And, you know, sometimes here it is, another one, wine. Just, this is just straight out font. You know, some people like that for wearing the wine. Some people right here. This was for Pride. This came out really cute, like that one. See? Really nice. Really simple. It's really, once you know the hat that you're going to be working on, which usually structured hats are very good with almost anything, okay? The only thing that can be a little bit challenging are the unstructured hats, which are these that are a little flimsy because they don't really have that much structure to them, okay? But if you hoop this correctly, you should be okay. All right, you should be okay and stuff. Now, here's another one that I did with a patch. Okay, gave it a little patch look. All right, so this came out okay. You know, now this one, I will tell you, these are some of the challenges when you're working with hats. Okay, when you're working with hats, sometimes it's a very round surface, right? So when you are laying down a piece of fabric, okay, like with here or something doing like this, it can get a little challenging. I want you to take a look at right here. Look at the letter M right here. See that little area right there? Where's my little pen? Pointer. Little pointer. See right there? Look at that. It's a little bumpy. See? So that's not good. So, you know, but you know, so these can be a little challenging because, you know, you have a little, it's round. It's round. So it's not going to be, it's a little easier to do these when you're doing them on shirts or jackets because it's just a flat surface that you're embroidering on, like little onesies or a baby blanket or something like that. But when you're doing hats, that's some of the things that you have to consider is that the little edging is on the round surface. So when you're laying down your fabric, you're going to have to be very, very careful. Now, how do I lay down the fabric so that I can try to minimize or hopefully not get these types of things at all? What is the trick that I do? Okay, well, what I do is I actually starch the fabric. Okay, now this is a piece of fabric that I got, and this is actually the fabric that I use for this hat. Okay, and what I did is, first of all, when you are embroidering these hats, this is structured hats. When you're using this for a structured hat, and I'll show this in the video. One of the things you want to do is you want to starch this. You want to starch it. You want to make sure you got all the wrinkles out and it is flat as possible. You also want to be able to use a light fabric. You don't want to use something that is super, super heavy because you want it to be starched, but you don't want it to be so heavy that it's going to not lay nicely on the hat. Okay, you want something that is going to drape over really nicely like this. See how it's draped over nicely? You know, and then that way when it embroiders, I mean, you know, it does the outline and everything like that. You're not going to have that puff. Now, if you notice, this is very light fabric, okay? And if you look at the mom one that I did, this was a heavier type of fabric. This was pretty heavy. This was not a light one either. Very, very different from the one that I did for this one. Okay, it's very, very different. This one's very, very light. The one that I did on this one was very, very heavy. I don't think I should have used this fabric for this hat, and that's probably why I got all the bubbly. Now, another thing too that I need to mention is that I did not put starch on this fabric when I laid it on this hat, okay? So that's probably another reason why I got that little bit of bubbly in there as well, okay? So could the starch have helped? I don't know. It may have, okay? I mean, you know, it may have, but I really don't like the way this type of fabric looks. So I'm just going to shy away from that. I do like the way these are because they're pretty cool. It looks really, really good. Okay. So let me see. Let me go back to my little notes here. All right. So we talked about, Yeah, okay. Now, another thing too is sometimes when I have watched videos on hats, a lot of times when people have design have design hats, when they have embroidery designs that are made specifically for hats, a lot of times what happens is the embroidery, the way it should work is it should start embroidering from the middle and it should go to the out, okay? That's a real true hat embroidery file. All right. Now, sometimes what happens though is not all files are created that way. Okay. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of these files that you see that I have here, they are not hat files, hat embroidery files that I purchased. These are just files that I could use on anything that what I did was I just modified the design size to fit the hat hoop. That's all I did. And then I just put it in the machine and I just hoped that it worked. And as you can see, a lot of these worked really, really nicely. I mean, I didn't see any hiccups or anything like that. Look at that. This is one that's supposed to go on a shirt. And what I did was I just used a small size and I just shrunk it just a little bit more to fit inside my hat hoop. And as you can see, it's stitched out beautifully. No problems at all. I mean, it looks really, really good. So sometimes you can get away with that. Okay. So one of the things that I advise you to do is if you can get a hold of some really like dirt cheap. Okay. If you can maybe, I don't know, just go to if you could go to I don't know, like where would you go? Okay. Probably like where you donate clothes and stuff like that. Oh God, Salvation Army. Yes, if you could go to Salvation Army, or Jesus Christ, get a hot flash here. All right, let me turn on the fan. If you go to Salvation Army, or maybe you could go to Michael's when they have them on sale or something like that. Grab a hat from there where you're only paying like $1 or $2. Keep about 5 or 10 of them in your shop, and then use those hats to test out the designs to see if they will actually work or not, okay? Because the last thing you want to do is to actually test out a design on one of your good hats, okay? A lot of these hats that I've purchased, I've actually paid about like $5 or $6 a hat. All right, so they came out really, really nice, but and I did test them out on the actual hat. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not following the advice that I'm giving you right now, all right? But if I had to do it all over again, and if I do get my hands on some really cheap hats, that's what I'm planning on doing. Because what'll happen is if you mess up on one of these hats, you're out $5, $6. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be out that much. I would rather lose just $1 or $2 and not lose a whole lot of money. So just something to think about, and stuff. The other thing also that I wanted to talk to you guys about this, especially, let me talk to you guys about the 3D embroidery, okay? 3D embroidery, I do have a video out there on how I did this step by step. Now, the thing that you are really going to have to invest in is these things, which is the foam, okay? They're called puffy foam, okay? And they have all types. You don't have to buy this one. This is the one that I just got because they had all the different colors. And I'm gonna be honest, when I said let me look into puff embroidery, I didn't know what the heck I was gonna embroider. So I figured let me just get every kind of color. Now, one of the things that you want to do is when you are doing puff embroidery, you want to use the foam that matches your thread. Okay. And the other thing that you also want to do is when you are looking at an embroidery file, you have to make sure that the embroidery file is actually designed for puff 3D embroidery. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? When you are using a regular embroidery file, okay, the embroidery file, it has the stitch and it's just going to lay flat on the fabric. There is no space between the stitch and the fabric. when you are doing 3D embroidery, and this is something that, I mean, some of you guys might be rolling your eyes going, well, we know that, but some people don't. In 3D puff embroidery, the way that it is designed is the length of the thread. What they do is the stitch has enough room so that when you lay this down and the machine starts to stitch on top of this, there is enough room in that stitch length to accommodate the foam. Okay, so if you were to do this on a ordinary stitch file, I have heard that some people come out and say, sometimes it comes out okay, sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, I test it and make sure that you are happy with the results. Okay, use those cheap hats wherever you get them from, and test it out. All right, because sometimes it'll look good, sometimes it won't. And then the thing is also is sometimes you could have an embroidery file and you don't want the whole embroidery file to be 3D. Sometimes you want a certain section of that design to have that 3D puff effect. Okay, like if you go into lids, if you have a lids by you where they have the baseball hats, take a look around and look at their designs. You're going to notice that some of the designs that they put on the hat, the whole design is not using the foam. There are certain sections in that design that they use the foam. It's very similar to when I did the video on talking to you guys about the different types of weight of thread and when to use it. Sometimes you'll have a design and there are certain, and you're working on a patch or whatever it is, and there are certain sections in that embroidery design that are very, very detailed. And when they are so detailed, you need to use some type of special thread, which is the 60 weight thread because it's thinner, and you're going to have to use a 65 needle because it's thinner as well. You know what I'm saying? So it's really similar concept when you're doing the 3D. This right here, okay, I used this right straight when the second stitch was coming in. First, if you watch the video, you'll see that it did the black first, and then I put the puff embroidery on here, and then it went and it embroidered the red, and the red is what had to be lifted. Okay, then when it did the W, it did the black stitch, the outline first, put the puff on here, and then it did the red for the W to give that the lift. So those designs are very similar to that. Okay, so it's just something that you just have to pay attention to, and really do your homework and stuff. And that's one of the things that's pretty interesting about embroidery is that a lot of times people say, oh, it's a very simple thing to do, which I say no, it's not. A lot of times, I tell people this is a skill set. It's a required skill set. All right. Because when you are doing any type of embroidery, whether you're embroidering a hat or a shirt or a bag or something like that, there's a lot of planning that goes into the process. Okay. You got to think about your stabilizer. You got to think about how you're going to hoop it. You're going to think about the design. You're going to have to think about your needles, your threads, and the weight of thread you're going to use. All right. So there's a lot of things that go into the planning before you actually press that on button. All right. So, something that just wanted to mention. I think I'm going all over the place again. Oh God, I always do that. All right. Try to be all organized. Doesn't work that way, but that's all right. Okay. So let's talk about the equipment. Okay, let's talk about the equipment a little bit. All right, now let's start with the flatbed machines. Okay, if you guys have a Brother SC1900 or a 2000 or any other type of flatbed machine, one of the things you guys should be aware of is that there are different ways that you can embroider a hat. Okay, and another thing too, before we go into that, people do embroider the back of hats too. Some people you can embroider the sides and all that stuff. Just mention. Okay, as long as you can hoop it, you can embroider it. But let's go back to the hooping thing. I know I'm jumping all over the place. Okay, but All right, so let's talk about the flatbed machines. All right. Now, this was something that I use. Okay, this is called an actual hat hoop. All right. Now, I purchased this off of Etsy. All right, and the Etsy shop is called Hat Hoop, and I will put the link in the video description below. I don't have the link on there now. Now, just a little disclaimer over here. Okay, when I first bought this a long time ago, I had absolutely no problem getting it. I got it right away, and you know, and I really love this thing. Okay, and I'm gonna even show you how to use this. Okay, I'll show you how to hoop it and all that kind of stuff. Right now, I think the vendor, it has their own website called hathoop.com. I'm not sure, because see, the thing is, and this is the thing, I purchased mine a long time ago. Okay, so I purchased it right after I bought my SC1900, which was about like 4.5 years ago. So a lot of things have changed, I guess. But I know that some people have said they had trouble getting it, that maybe they ran out or whatever. I don't know. So what I would recommend that you do before getting it is that I would reach out to hathoop.com or go through the Etsy shop that's called Hat Hoop and ask them and say, hey, what is your availability of having this? Because I think they were back ordered for quite some time. I think they were. So I just want to let you guys know that up front. Okay. Now, for those of you guys that can't get a hold of one of these, I did find another one that worked similar to this on Amazon. And I did link that video to this video description below so that you guys can see it. And I did kind of like a comparison of the one that I got off of Amazon with this one. Okay. Now, I am going to tell you right off the bat, I really still like this one. The one that I found off of Amazon, I thought it was a little bulky and a little bit heavier and stuff like that. I found this one was a little bit better to work with, but it still worked. Okay. So, just know the options are there. So, that way you could just make the best decision for you. Okay. So just wanted to put that out there for you guys. So that way, if you guys can't get a hold of one of these, don't worry. There's still something you can work with out there. Okay. And I did a video on that. All right. Now, how does this work? All right. Now, one of the things that I really like about this is this little lid right here. All right. Now, what it is it has these little screws right here, and I'm going to unscrew them. And then this kind of opens up. All right. Now, what I really like about this is it works with your 5x7 hoop that comes with your SC1900 or SC2000 and stuff. And if you don't have a brother machine, I know they had for the other models, it's at too, like Viking and all that other stuff. So, or Barina or something like that. So, don't think you have to have a brother. Okay. So I'm just saying. All right. So what it is you have your hoop, right? So I'm going to take the top part off. You don't need the top part. You just need the bottom part of your hoop. Okay. And then this actually pops right in. So I have to actually put this on the table so that I can pop it in evenly so that you guys can see how it looks. Okay. And let me close it. And I'm going to close it now so that way you guys can see. And then here it is. See? So now I'm just closing it. And all right. So there you go. So this is how it actually looks. It works with the bottom of your hat it works at the bottom of your 5x7 hoop that comes with your machine. All right. And you pop it in. All right. And then these little screws, you just open them up, and the more you unscrew it, the more your lid opens. Now, what is this for? Okay. This is, I'm going to take a hat here. All right. Now, first of all, one of the things that I recommend is sticky stabilizer. Okay. Now, I'm not going to put any stabilizer on here because I don't want to waste it. But this is what I do. I put the sticky stabilizer in the bottom of here, so that way it's sticky here. Okay. Then you're going to take your hat and you're going to lift the lid, and you're going to put this in here, and then you're going to tighten this. Okay. And then what that's going to do is it's just going to hold your lid in place. Then, and if you notice in the video, then what I do is I just take this and I just push this down, and then you just smooth it out. And then when you smooth it out, it kind of sticks with your sticky stabilizer, and then you slide this into your machine, and then you can just go ahead and start embroidering on your hat. Okay, that's how you do it on a flatbed machine. Okay, so it's pretty simple. It's not hard at all. It's I really like this thing. It really worked really, really well. I mean, I really like it. I mean, this works especially for those that are not structured hats, because they're so soft that when you have to like push it down like this, it makes it really easy. Okay. Now, if you're working with structured hats, that's going to be a little bit of a challenge. I'm not saying that it can't happen. It can. But the thing is, it's going to be a little harder for you to to push this back. All right. You're going to have to use a little bit of force. And, it's just a little more trickier. But it's something that is doable because I've done it. Okay. But I have to be honest, though, when it comes to using this type of hoop, okay, these soft ones are the way to go. I mean, because they're so easy to do. They really truly are. And stuff, and they always come out so cute. And I forgot to show you guys another one that I was doing and stuff. This is another one. I got this cute font. It was pretty pricey. All right. Now the reason why I chose the pricey one is because I've always believed in looking at reviews, okay, whenever I am buying embroidery files. That is really, really important to me because the reviews really tells me about the quality of the embroidery file. Because I know somebody reached out and they were like, damn, Jeanette, those fonts were expensive. Yes, they were. But I'm going to tell you something. This stitched out beautifully. As you can see, there is a lot of colors in here, okay? Because, there's a lot of different colors on this hat, all right? Now, one of the things that I read when I was looking to buy this embroidery file is I saw there were other people out there that had files that were pretty similar. However, though, when I read the reviews, and this is something that as an embroiderer, I strongly recommend that you guys do that. When you're going out there and you're buying designs, embroidery designs, read the reviews. Honestly, take the time to read those reviews. And the reason why I say that is because the other people that are embroiderers as well, when they bought that design file, they're going to write up if they had an issue when they stitched it out. And if they did have an issue when they stitched out a particular design, you're going to want to know two things. You're going to want to know what were the issues that they experienced when they were stitching out that design. The second thing you're going to want to know when you're reading that review is once they saw that there was an issue with stitching out the design, was the digitizer willing to work with them to fix it? Okay. If you see that there is no mention that the person who is selling that design did not come out and say, oh my God, I didn't realize that, let me fix it for you, I'm not sure that's somebody you want to purchase from, okay? Because now you went ahead and you spent money on a embroidery file and it's useless. Just saying. I'm just saying. Those things are important. The other thing, the first thing that I mentioned was the quality of the stitch out, okay? I'm going to tell you some of the things that can happen if the embroidery file is not stitched out in good quality. When I was looking for this particular font, because I did want something flowery, first of all, I wanted the upper and the lowercase letters. I also wanted to have different sizes available to me, because I didn't just want to look at this font and say, I just want to use it for hats. I wanted to use this so that I could also use it for, other items like book bags or jackets or shirts or whatever, right? So what ended up happening was when I was reading the reviews, some of the folks that were using some of these fonts that, some of people were selling this at a cheaper price, but the complaints that I saw in the reviews were that the jump stitches were not, there were too many jump stitches. They were, it just it didn't stitch out well. It took too long to stitch because of the poor digitizing that was involved in it. So when I saw from this particular vendor, everyone said it was a clean stitch out. And I'm going to be honest with you, fabulous stitch out. I mean, all the jump stitches were taken care of. I mean, there was literally nothing, no cleanup that I had to do to stitch this file out. So very, very important. So some little nugget for you guys to think about when you're buying embroidery files. Okay, read those reviews. They matter. Trust me, they matter. Okay, because I know I personally do leave reviews if I buy a file and I see that it's an excellent stitch out, I will definitely leave a review and I will thank the digitizer for such a fabulous job. But if I run into a problem and I see that the person's not going to work with me and stuff, I'm not the type that goes out and gives like 1 stars. I don't do that. But the thing is, the person would probably get like a 3 or a 4, but I will leave a reason in my write-up saying it stitched out the way it was supposed to. However, there were too many jump stitches or it just wasn't aligned right, or wasn't filled correctly, and I didn't get any help or anything like that. Usually I'll leave a 4 if it didn't stitch out correctly, but the digitizer worked with me and fixed it. Now, if they fixed it as such a great job, I'll still put it in the write-up and say when I first got it, it didn't stitch correctly. However, though, they were so helpful that they were able to correct the file for me. So if you have any issues, just reach out to them. They'll fix it. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, as a small business owner, I don't want to screw somebody else over either. Okay, and stuff. But I don't want other people that are doing embroidery to buy files that aren't that good either. Okay, so sometimes you just got to keep it real, keep it honest, and be fair. Okay, so that's just how I see it. Okay, so man, what the heck was I talking about? Okay, we were talking about the hoop. Okay, we're talking about the hoop. I go all over the place, guys. You guys know how I roll. All right, so this is really, really good. But like I said, when you're working with a flatbed machine, it is really, really best to stick with the soft ones. I really like the soft ones because I think those are the best. All right. So now let's talk about our multi-needle machines. Now with multi-needle machines, it's very, very different. Okay. It is not as a simple hooping process for this, for single needles. It's a little more complicated. When you have a multi-needle machine, usually you have 2 pieces that you have to work with. You have your driver. This is my driver that I have on here, and I know you guys can hardly see it, but you got your driver, and then you got your hoop, and this is the actual hoop for a hat. Okay, the process to hoop this can be a little complicated. All right, I don't have a video on how to do this step by step. I will have to make one for you guys. Okay, because I do have a lot of people that say this thing is confusing. How the hell do you use it? So they go a little crazy with it. I am going to be honest with you. It took me about I think it was like about 2 or 3 weeks for me to figure it out and figure it out right. Okay, so I will do a video on how to do this, setting up the driver on the 6-needle machine. Okay, it's the same thing on the 10-needle machine, but I'm going to do it on the 6-needle machine. I will show you guys exactly how to set up the driver. That can be a little tricky if you don't exactly know what to do and where actually to look. And then hooping the hat can be a little complicated too if you don't exactly know how to correctly position the hat on this hoop, okay, and then be able to snap it into the machine. All right. However, I will tell you this, it is very easy to embroider hats on a multi-needle machine, whether it's structured or unstructured. Okay. However, though, as I said before, not all designs work on all hats. All right. So you just got to make sure that you have a full understanding of what type of design you're going to be embroidering and on what type of hat to make sure that it's going to work for you. And if you watch that 3D puff embroidery video that I posted on the video description, you're going to notice that's a perfect example of what not to do with certain types of hats. Okay. I left the boo-boo in there because I wanted you guys to see that. And then at the end, when I actually finished this 3D hat, I actually compared it to the one that I messed up on so that you guys could actually see the difference, of how it came out and stuff like that. So yeah, but hats are pretty easy. There's so many different hats. The beanies are really cool to do also. I have a video on how to embroider a beanie on a flatbed machine. I've also have some videos on the channel on how to embroider beanies on the multi-needle machine, hooping and everything. Very, very simple. Beanies, I don't hoop it with this. I hoop it using another method, using mighty hoops. Okay, my 5x5 mighty hoop and the freestyle station. And you'll see that in the video as well. Very simple to do. The only tricky part with the beanies is to make sure that you have it positioned correctly on your machine. But I do show you guys a trick on how to do that, okay, by printing out the template and taping it where it's supposed to be. Excuse me. And then you go ahead and you hoop the item so that you can embroider it, okay? Yeah, so let me see. So yeah, I think that's, let me see. Oh, there was more. There was more I wanted to share. There was more that I want to share. Hold on. Let me clean this up a little bit and stuff because I want to show you guys a little bit. And I am going to show you more in detail some of the stuff that I'm going to show you right now. I am going to do some videos and details and stuff but I got to get more hats. So I went and I ordered more hats. And they'll let me know as soon as they're available for me to pick up. And then once I get those hats, I'm going to be shooting like crazy. So I am going to be, for every hat that I embroider, I'm actually going to take my phone and I'm going to videotape the whole thing because I want you guys to see how to do this because it's so cool. It's amazing. Okay, so I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this hat. Okay. And some of the things you could think about when embroidering on doing this, okay? These hats, for some reason, well, it's not even some reason. I mean, let's just say it for what it is, okay? They're cute. They're freaking cute. All right. I really like this hat. This has really turned into my favorite hat. It's gonna be my hat, I'm telling you. So this is like the distressed look. And I remember once I was on Miss Shirley's, Miss Shirley did a live. I forgot the name of her channel. I hope she's on. But anyway, she did a live once. And then next thing you know, we started talking about distressed jeans. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, if you see people wearing jeans and it looks like they have little holes in them or little areas that are a little ripped, that's called a distressed look. And sometimes people have the jean jacket that has a little rip in there and stuff like that, and they have distressed jackets. Well, now they're coming up with, they've had it for quite some time, but it's just now that I'm starting to get into them. Now I see these distressed hats and I'm like, man, this is like really, really cute, So I ordered one. Okay. I should have ordered more. Okay. But but I was like, oh, let me just see how it is. Right. And see, the look and feel. Am I going to like it? Well, I got it, when I got home and I opened the box and I saw it, I said, oh, I like this hat. I really, really, really like this hat. Now, one of the things was I kind of wanted it to be a solid color. I wasn't a big fan of the the mesh in the back. I will tell you that I kind of wanted it to be all like jean, you know, this material in the back as well. And I like this distress look. But I'm going to tell you, this kind of grew on me, okay? So I went and then I saw that I had a piece of fabric that kind of matched the color of the back, right? So then I said, all right, so what I did was I took the Latina style that I have on some of my other baseball hats, and I said, I'm going to do a patch, right? So what I did was I went and I had a I just did the embroidery of a circle, okay, that went around. And what I did was I took this and I ironed it with starch. And like I said earlier, I just laid it on here. I let the machine go ahead and embroider, you know, the whole thing, right? And then this is what I did. I took my, oh, I thought I bought it out. I didn't. Okay. Well, if you have pinky shears, right? And it doesn't have to be, pinky shears are the scissors that cut like that. Now, if you don't have the scissors that cut like that, don't worry about it. Use regular scissors and just cut around, okay? Cut around the stitch. Now, don't cut up to the stitch. You want to leave some fabric there. Now, how did I get this fray look? All right. What I did was I took my Cricut, and then all I did was start pulling the fabric. Okay. And as you pull the fabric, that's when you're going to start seeing that fray. Okay. So just go like that with your little hook and just pull on it, and you're going to see that some of it's going to come off, and then it's going to start to fray. Now, there's a little trick though. You don't want to just leave it like that, because then what's going to happen is it's going to fray all the way around. You want to somehow stop the fray in some way, right? So that's where this little baby comes in, and this is fray check, okay? So what I did was, fray check is clear color, okay? So when you first put it on, it's going to look a little wet. Don't freak out. Don't worry about it. It's going to dry. And when it's going to dry, it's like you never put anything on it, okay? So what you do is you open this up, and then what I did was I put the fray check, and I just like put it right on this stitch right here, okay? And I just put it on all around in here. All right, so that way this can fray all it wants, because you want it to fray. You want that distress look. You want it to look really cute, right? So once you take this and you go like this, you kind of like start the fraying, okay? And then what you do is put the fray check on here, and the fray check, just put it on the outline, and then that way it's not going to fray past the stitches, okay? I mean, I don't know if it would, but don't chance it. I would just do that. This is another thing also, another idea that I have, okay, that I was thinking of doing as well. You could take, let's say you don't want to do the embroidery on here, okay? Let's just say that. Let's say, oh, I like the hat idea and I like the distress idea, but let's say you don't even have an embroidery machine, but you have a sublimation machine, right? Okay, so try this. Take a piece of fabric, right? 100% polyester, okay? Do your sublimation on here. Once you have your picture on here, right? Then what I would do is take this. This is fabric tack, okay? It's just a glue. It's an adhesive, okay? But it's a permanent one, okay? So what you do is, once you have it sub, right? Then you go ahead and do, like I said, the fray check on the corners, okay? Do your little thing. Start fraying it. Turn it around, okay? Take this, put it on the back of your design, Okay, just put like a, put a little bit in the middle, and then put like around. Take your hat, stick it on right where you want it. Okay, so you got your little design there. All right, stick it on, cut it out a little bit, and then take your little thing, start playing with it, and you're good to go. Now, when you first put it in, you may see, just like the freight check, you might see that it looks a little wet, but don't worry about it, because you stuck this on this hat and it's stuck. Okay, so you can get like a cute design, print it out on your sublimation printer. Okay, put it on the fabric, turn it around, glue that sucker on. It's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't have to be stitched. As long as you put enough glue where you want it to stick, it will stick. It'll stay. And then just cut it around, and then just do your little distress look. There you go. And I'm actually going to do it. I'm going to do a video on it step by step, show you guys how to do it too, because I have a sublimation printer. And right now what I'm doing is I'm going on Creative Fabrica, and I'm trying to look at designs, right? And, they got some really cute designs that say mama or mom and stuff. I was thinking of maybe I could get one that says dog mom, because, I got to represent Mellow, So I was thinking I'm going to do a dog mom one, and I'm going to not embroider it. I want to do the sublimation on it, and I'm going to use this. I'm going to put it on here, and I want to do the distressed look, and I want to see how it comes out. So I think that's going to come out like super cute. I think it really is. It's going to come out really super cute. So I'm going to give it a shot, and I'll definitely put a video on how to do that as well. So, it's just an idea that I wanted to share with you guys, because I thought, I got this little glue here. I haven't even used this. You can see it's still closed. So I'm like thinking, you know what? I'm going to do that, because I bought this because I was going to use this for patches, because that's another trick that people do. Okay. Because remember, sometimes people, what they do is they want patches, and they want the patches to be done on the hat. Okay. Now, the thing with the patches on the hat is some people put the glue on and they stick it on. To really make a patch stick on a hat, you should not just glue it on. You should actually sew the edges of that patch on the hat. However, though, that is something that to do that, you would have to make sure. I think in a multi-needle machine, you would have to have the embroidery file to actually sew around the patch, so that way it's sewed down good. Okay. I know they do have some sewing machines. It's like some industrial sewing machines where it doesn't look like a regular quilting, an SC 1900 sewing machine. They kind of have like an arch, so that when people are embroidering like hats, I mean, not embroidering, but sewing on hats and stuff, they can move it around freely around it. So it's just like a leg. I don't know how to describe it. I don't even know the name of the machine, but I've seen people use that, and they use that to actually sew patches. And it's not like a sewing machine where they have like the pedal. I mean, they actually hand crank it, because the thing is, to sew a patch, you have to go on the edges of a patch, and you have to be really precise. So the last thing you want to do, you don't want to, and it go real fast. You know what I mean? And stuff. So what they do is they hand crank it. So that way the needle, it goes kind of slow, and they can actually move it to where they need it. So that way the needle can actually sew on the edge of the patch. Okay. So I don't know what those machines are called. I looked at them at one time, but then I was kind of like, all right, Jeanette, we're really not going to do that. You know what I mean? So I was just like, I'm perfectly happy with these two machines. I'm going to stick with these two machines. Now, if I had to sew those types of hats on baseball hats, I probably, knowing me, I would be sending that file to my digitizer and I would tell them, can you create me a file where I can go ahead and actually have the multi-needle machine just sew down the patch on the hat. That's the approach that I would take. Okay. And stuff. So that's what I would do. But yeah, but I just wanted to share that idea with you because I was thinking that would be really, really cute. The only thing that I could see like doing the sublimation one is that, you know, you would have to make sure that you glue it well, and then like cut around it pretty good, you know, because you don't want it to be like, you know, that is, you got so much fabric hanging over, you know what I'm saying? Then it'll look kind of funky, you know, it'll look kind of funny because probably people will look at you like, the hat, you know, looks like, you know, don't look too good, you know what I mean? So it's just something that I just wanted to share and stuff like that, you know. So anyway, but anyway, guys, alrighty. So yeah, that's what I had on hats and stuff like that. So it is 9 o'clock. So let me go through the chat, okay? Because I want to make sure that if you guys have any questions, where did my mouse go? That I cover it. Oh, here it is. It's down here. Okay, that I cover it so that way oh, I gotta turn it on. That way I can help you guys out. But I am going to be doing more videos on the hats. I have to pick up those hat orders though, because man, I got all excited on these hats and stuff like that. So yeah, so I want to do some videos on that and show you guys how to hoop. Do I have everything in here? Yeah, I think I talked to you guys about everything that I wanted to regarding the hats. Let me close this and let me go down the chat and let me see. And my mouse is not working. It's not. Okay. Is it? Okay, it is working. All right, cool. All right, so let me go on the chat and say hi to everybody. Hey Robin, hey Embroidery G, how are you? Hey Judy, Karen, I see Robin. Hey Vanette, how you doing? How you doing in Texas? Hey Marlene, hey Jenny, how are you? Christina, J Love, how are you? Hey Linda, Sassy, Lucy, Joanna. Hey Iris, hey Cindy. Oh my God, she ordered her Racoma. I think that's a Racoma, right, Cindy? She got her multi-needle machine. Congratulations. You're going to love it. Hey, Teresa, how are you? Thank you, J-Love. My birthday was last Saturday. But you know what? You know, once you pass 50, I don't say you have a birthday. You got a birthday month. So I'm celebrating all month and stuff. And I also want to say a special thank you to the crafty Puerto Rican because she sent me this. So I don't know if you guys can tell the bling on this, but she did this shirt for me doing rhinestones. And oh my God, it's beautiful. I just love it. I don't know if you guys can see the shine. It's like, oh my God. And also, yeah, I got this from her store and stuff. So I don't know if you guys have seen her Etsy shop. She does a lot of sublimation. So yeah, I saw this in her store. So I was like, oh, I had to get that. So I went and I bought it and stuff. So I was like, oh my God. So love my cup. See, look, it has Boricua and Puerto Rico. And oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it. And so love my new little mug thing going on over here. So hey Teresa, hey Judy. Hey K-Bug K Black Creations, how you doing? Hey Anna, how are you? Hey Miss Max, how are you? And there was something else that I wanted to mention. Oh, I hope Miss Knight is on. Let's see. Hey Eartha, hey Ozzy, how you doing? Hey Robin, I see Karen. Love, love, love the videos. I'm glad you like them. Hey Nana, how are you? Oh, everybody loves the birthday shirt. I'm telling you, crafty Puerto Rican boy, she is really she loves doing this rhinestone stuff. But you know what's so funny is this. I don't know if the camera, if you guys can really see the bling, okay, but it's like it doesn't do justice. When I got this out of the package, I was like, oh my god, this beautiful, beautiful. I was telling her you should do this on jean jackets. And you know what? If any of you guys are into rhinestones, you could do rhinestones on a hat. If you have like, and I think she does. I think the Crafty Puerto Rican might have I think she did get a heat press for the hats. If you have a heat press for the hats, I bet you she could probably do. I'm going to talk to her. I got to reach out to her because I mean rhinestones on this. That would be beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god. And especially for the young generation, they're going clubbing. Oh, you know they're going to want to wear their little hat. You know they're going to look cute. So yeah, I mean, oh my god. So I hope she's on stuff. If she's not, I'm definitely gonna have to reach out to her and let her know. Hey Teresa. Hey Angela Stitches, how are you? Let's see. Hey Nancy, how you doing? Hey Karen. Hey Deborah, how you doing? Hey Nevelyn, how are you? I see Kathy. Deborah, how's your mom doing? Let me tell you, I fired my mom. I sure did. If you guys don't know, if you guys have been found, my mom has been with me for like about a week and a half. Okay. Now, I am gonna tell you, she did sew all my labels on my kitchen towels, and I will always be grateful for that. Okay. However, though, I mean, all she did was watch, which I kind of understand. She was using the excuse of, no, I don't want to mess up anything because I don't want to mess up an order or anything like that. Okay. But she seemed really, really impressed by a lot of stuff that I had going on over here. She watched all the customers coming and going because she saw that I got a lot of local orders and everything. So she was kind of like, oh wow, like you're really like doing your thing. And I'm like, yeah. But it's like my mom, the thing is, my mom, she sewed back in the day, but the machines that she used for sewing, they were very different than the ones that we're using today. The ones we're using today are very computerized. So even like she had a pair of pajamas and she wanted to sew the little hem, right? And it she knew how to do it, once I set up the machine for her. But she doesn't understand the machines because it's not the machines that she's used to working with. The machines that she worked with were all manual, right? So they weren't computerized or anything like that. But yeah, I mean, she turned into a slacker, So anyway, I'm just messing with her though. But no, I mean she did a really good job in labeling all my stuff and everything. And she did try to help me organize the stuff because I had a lot of shipments that came in. Because if you guys watched some of my videos in the past, I talked to you guys about inventory. Always watch your inventory. Make sure that you are keeping track. So I was running low on business cards. I was running low on my towels and also some of my shipping supplies. So, I had placed an order to replenish all those things. They came in. So she kind of helped me organize all that kind of stuff because I like to order some of my supplies only once a year. And when I order them, I usually order it for like a whole entire year. And, that way I don't have to worry, right? So, she was really great in helping and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of understood when I was asking her, hey, do you want to learn the embroidery machine? It is computerized. As you can see, it's computerized. So, it was really hard for her to kind of get it. So, but it was okay. It was all right. I mean, but she is doing good. And right now what she's doing is she's making me some sofrito. And for you guys that don't know, it's a seasoning that we use for a lot of our foods. So, she's making me a bunch of sofritos and she's been cooking. That's really her thing. She loves to cook. So yeah, we've been eating very well since her visit here. She leaves on Tuesday. Gonna miss her. I'm really gonna miss her. And when she goes back home, I'm probably gonna be bothering her to see when she's gonna come back again because I actually enjoyed having her here. I really did. I like her company. At first I thought me and my mom were gonna fight a lot and stuff, but no, we really had this was a really nice fit. I really liked it. I'm gonna miss her a lot. I really am. I'm gonna miss her a lot because she was going to work walks with me and my dog. We were going to walks and went to get our nails done and it was really nice. So, but yeah, I'm gonna miss her and I'm looking forward to her visiting again, and stuff. So yeah, it was fun. It was really fun. I'm really gonna it's gonna be sad to see her go back home on Tuesday, but I'm sure Nancy misses mom too. So yeah. Um, hey Arlene, how are you? Hey Robin. Hey Love First. Oh, can you embroider on the SE 800 for a bucket hat? Okay, this is what I would do. I'm gonna highlight your question, okay, just in case somebody has a question. All right. So, bucket hats, all right? Got one right here. Okay. Bucket hats are going to be pretty easy for you to embroider. They're not hard at all, okay? Very different. I would do it a different way from doing a baseball hat. Now, this is the thing. You're going to have you don't even need to have these hoops, okay? You could use a regular 5x7 hoop. And what I would do is the stabilizer that I would use for a bucket hat would probably be a sticky stabilizer. If you don't have a sticky stabilizer, try to use tearaway, okay? And the reason why I'm going to say tearaway, all right, and not cutaway, because some people, they confuse as to when should they use cutaway, when should they use tearaway. Cutaway is when your fabric stretches, okay? When your fabric stretches, you want cutaway because the cutaway is what's going to give the embroidery design the strength it needs to maintain. If you have a fabric that doesn't stretch, like this one doesn't stretch at all. This is not stretchy. This stretches, okay? See how this stretches? Okay, this is a shirt stretch. So with clothes that stretch like this, you're going to use a cutaway. Clothes like a jean jacket doesn't have too much doesn't have a stretch in there. This doesn't have a stretch in there. You use tearaway. So what you can do is if you don't have sticky stabilizer, you get tearaway stabilizer. Buy temporary spray adhesive. Okay, I use KK 2000. Some people use a spray called 505 temporary adhesive. Spray lightly on the tearaway stabilizer. And then what you're going to want to do is on the area that you want to embroider, and this is something that I highly recommend, print out the template of your embroidery design. Take the template of your embroidery design, just cut it out, kind of similar to what you see me do in some of the videos, okay? Tape it where you want it on the hat, and then place your hat on the hoop, just flat, and then make sure your needle is hitting the center point of your design, okay? And then you just embroider. That's it. You just embroider it, all right? And then when you're done, tear away the extra stabilizer that you got back there. You can give it a nice little light press. Never press on top directly on your embroidery. Always use a Teflon sheet or take another piece of fabric, okay? Put it on top of your embroidery and then just lightly iron. And then you're good. It's simple. You can embroider on bucket hats. Sometimes people, what they do too is they'll embroider on the edge of the bucket hat. They'll put like a person's name on it and stuff like that. Sometimes also, like, see how on the bucket hats, you also have like these little sides, okay? I'm planning on embroidering this bucket hat. I thought it was a cute hat. And so I was like thinking to myself, I'm going to embroider this hat so that way I can wear it while I'm walking mellow. So, to keep the sun out and stuff like that, because I just like it. I think it's cute. So I will do a video on how I'm going to embroider this hat. And you know what? Maybe I'll do it on my flat machine. Okay. Love first. So that way you can see it on an actual flatbed, because this is really simple to do. And more, and I'm gonna tell you my vision for this hat is I want to do little designs around it. I want to do like a, I don't know, like a spool of thread. I want to make it like my little sewing hat. I want to do little cute sewing designs all over the hat. I probably want to do my little name. I'll probably put Boricua over here, or maybe I'll do Mello's mom or something like that. I want to have fun with this. So I'm going to do several embroidery designs on this hat. So I am going to make a video on this. So don't worry. I know I have a list of videos that I have to do. It's just that I have to find the time to film. And, it's really funny, guys, because filming these videos are not very easy, because what ends up happening is you don't want any background noise, right? So I always look for opportunities when my husband's not home, my son's not home. I have no visitors or anything like that. My mom's been here. And it's not that that she interrupts me too much, but it's just that sometimes, she looks for me and stuff like that. And she doesn't know that I'm videotaping. And she'll accidentally, like, you'll hear her yelling, Jeannie, Jeannie. And she'll open the door, and then you hear all that in the background. So I like to do it. I always look for opportunities when I'm alone at home, because when I'm alone, it's silent, and it's so silent, and I can really just focus on what I'm embroidering and making sure that the camera is looking at the right angle so that you guys can really see exactly what it is that I'm trying to teach you guys. So be patient with me. The videos are going to come out. I just got to find the opportunity to kick everybody out of the house, okay, so that I can have that moment so that I can embroider, and do my thing, okay? So, love first, can you embroider on an SE 800 on bucket hats? Absolutely. You can do it. I mean, very, very simple, and I will show you the video and stuff. But also, like I just explained, try it. I mean, get yourself like 2 or 3 bucket hats. Get them cheap and stuff. And you can just try it out, okay, and stuff. And don't be afraid of making mistakes. If you make a mistake, so what? It's a hat. Go buy another one. That's all. Don't worry about it. We all make mistakes. We all screw up. Okay, if you watch some of the videos, you'll see I screw up, and it's okay. And I leave the mistakes in there, because just like I can make that mistake, somebody else out there can make that mistake too. So I don't mind showing my mistakes to people, because that's how you're going to learn, okay? And so don't be afraid of it. So go for it, And I think bucket hats are making a comeback, guys. I really do, because I see a lot of people with the freaking bucket hats. And I'm like, oh, what the heck is it with these hats? They've been around for such a long time, and then all of a sudden now they're like coming back. So and these this was not expensive. It really wasn't. And I got it from the wholesale place. I thought it was really, really freaking cute. I was like, okay. And I said, I'm going to embroider this, and I'm going to make it my own, and I'm going to try it, and stuff. But very easy to do. And, you could probably right smack in the middle of it, put people's initials on top of it. Some people do the monograms on the bucket hats too. They do them on the side. They put monograms. You can do that. You can put applique, stuff like that. There's so many things you can do on these bucket hats. Yeah. So anyway, all right. Enough with the bucket hats. I'm gonna keep going. All right. Hey Waverly, how you doing? Thank you. Hey Peggy, just ordered a multi-needle. Oh, Peggy, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. Hey Robin. Hey Nanny. Did your mommy help you to sew? Yes, Nana. She sewed all of my kitchen towels. She put all my labels on them. All of them. And you know what's so funny is I wanted to buy more so that way I could get her going. And so she was on a roll. But yeah, I put her to work. Hey Judy, how you doing? $80 for some hat at Liz. See, oh my God. Did you guys see that? Did you see that? See? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I got these hats for like $5. And these are Adam's hats. Okay? These are Adam hats, right? And I got their catalog. They got all these different types of hats. The most expensive hats I saw were like $10, $11. The fitted hats that I'm talking about. And look at what Embroidery G said. $80 for some hats at Liz. $80. So think about that profit on that one hat. One hat. See? Very easy. These are really easy. And this is the thing too. You don't have to go crazy. You can take a simple little hat with a simple little design. A simple little embroidery design. Okay? I've seen some people for Christmas just put Santa Claus on here, or an elf, or a candy cane. And people buy them. People like them. You know, now I don't think you'd be able to sell a candy cane on a hat for $80, but you know, you can get a $5 hat, sell it for 15, 20 bucks. You're making money back. And a little simple design doesn't take a long time to stitch out. That's the other thing too that I just want to point out. Okay, you're talking about, like I said in the beginning, small designs don't take a long time to stitch out. You're only stitching in a small area, okay? So they're quicker to do. It's a lot quicker than if you were to embroider a bag or one of those shirts with all these appliques on them and stuff. Sometimes some of those shirts, okay, take about an hour or an hour and a half to do, especially if the applique has a lot of sections in there that requires a lot of different pieces of fabric. That can be very time consuming, okay? So think about that. You know, you make more money off making a hat than you do on embroidering all those other things. I'm just saying, you know, just saying. Let's see. Hey Karen, how you doing? Hats are my best seller, but I hate to do them. See? People love hats. People love hats. Why do you hate to do them though, Karen? I think they're so simple. I wonder what's the most challenging thing that you're having with them and stuff. Deborah, everyone seeing you from Virginia. How's your mom doing? You didn't work her too hard this week. No, I did not work her too hard. She is a slacker. I tell you, she's a slacker. All she wanted to do is put labels on, but that's okay. Let's see. I make out better with structured hats than unstructured. Is painful process for me. Yeah, unstructured hats. Okay, I am going to admit unstructured hats can be, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because the unstructured hats, take out the paper, they're flimsy. They're flimsy. So you got to make sure that when you hoop these things, that you're hooping them tight. And as a matter of fact, I'll make sure to mention that when I'm showing you guys how I hoop these on the multi-needle machines, okay? Because you have to use clips. I use clips. So I don't know how you guys do them, but I will show you guys how I actually hoop this and why I hoop it a certain way and what kind of clips I use and how I use them to make sure that this surface right here stays smooth so that when I embroider it, it embroiders fine. Because there is a trick to it. You got to use the clips and stuff. So, yeah. And Waverly, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Oh, Crafty Puerto Rican, you are here. How you doing? Oh, my goodness. I love your shirt, girl. I love your shirt. I tell people about your shirt. And look at that. She got these beautiful cups. And look, she also gifted me with my shirt. And I love it. Oh, my God. She got some really nice stuff in her shop. You guys got to go to her Etsy shop and see. She's got some cute stuff. And I don't know if you saw Julius, I think you got a heat press for hats. I think you do. And one of the things I'm thinking about is the rhinestones on the shirt, the hat. That could probably be a good seller. I'm just saying. I would do that. I would probably see if I could do one with the coqui or saying Latina in rhinestones or something, Puerto Rico in rhinestones or something like that. You know what I mean? I think it would work. I'll buy one. That's for sure. Put it on your Etsy shop, girl. I got you. Ching ching. I'll buy the first hat. Hey, Leslie, how you doing? Okay, Karen. Karen says, I don't use stabilizer on structured hat. I don't know if that's wrong. Okay, Karen, I'm going to tell you something right now. Look, no stabilizer. I ain't using it either. I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to be honest with you. Now, this also, I want to show you guys this as well. I got two mom hats here. Okay. I did this hat. Okay. Look inside. No stabilizer. I was wondering the same thing that you were saying. Now, the structured hats, in my opinion, I don't think you need the stabilizer for the simple fact that it's structured. It's tough. It's hard. These, I wanted to see, okay, in this hat, no stabilizer. So I said, I'm going to use stabilizer on the next hat. And I want to see if there is an actual difference. Okay. Here's the other one. Okay. Stabilizer here. I don't know if you guys can see a difference. I don't. But if you do, this is the one with no stabilizer. Okay. And then this is the one with. Okay, let me see. Let me show it to you guys. Now, no stabilizer. Stabilizer. I don't see any difference. I don't see anything. I don't see any difference. When I looked at both, because I thought, am I going to see a difference? Am I going to see that maybe the one with the stabilizer had a little more solid look? Now, honestly, I don't see any difference. I really don't. They both look good. So, yeah, I mean, so Karen, I don't know. I mean, is it wrong? I don't know. I mean, you guys tell me, I mean, what do you guys think? Should we be using stabilizer on these hats or not? I'm going to be honest with you. I find it kind of unattractive inside. I kind of find that this is a little more better looking and stuff. I don't know. Now, another thing that crossed my mind too was, should I be doing something like putting tender touch or something like that to hide all of this? I'm going to leave it as is. I do know that some people, what they do is they take a hot knife and they kind of burn in here. What I did was I just took my scissors and I just cut the very long tails, and I'm leaving it as is. I'm not gonna bother with the inside. I think it's fine. And stuff. So I'm not even gonna bother with that. So, oh wait, hold on. Oh, sorry guys. Mellow. Yes, you. He's in my makeup bag again. And so I don't know what it is, that guy. So I don't know, guys. You tell me. I don't know what you guys think. Stabilizer or not. Structured hats, like I said, because structured hats already are they're kind of already hard, right? So I just don't see what the stabilizer would do. So I don't see it giving it that extra because usually stabilizer, that's what it is. It's supposed to give the product more strength, right? So I was kind of like, I don't really think you need it. All right, so I left that alone. But then I started thinking about it. Stabilizer gives strength. These are the flimsy ones. Okay, so maybe it would make a difference. And I did one without, I did one with, and I have to tell you, I don't see a big of a difference. I really don't. I don't see a big of a difference and stuff. So I'm kind of like, it looks good to me. So I'm like, okay. So I really like this. This came out really, really, really cute. I see a lot of people use this font for like sweatshirts and stuff like that. It's really, really cute. Cute font. It was expensive, I'm going to tell you, but the thing is, I wanted a really good digitized font. So I read all the reviews and stuff. Now, there were some out there that were similar, that were cheaper, but like I said, the reviews talked a lot about the jump stitches and all that kind of stuff. So I shied away from those because sometimes in certain things, it's good to save money. In other things, quality matters. So, I kind of figured I'm just going to bite the bullet and I'm going to go for the one that I know is going to stitch out great and stuff like that. So, yeah. But Karen, yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with you on that and stuff. Oh, look, Embroidery G. She says, Karen, you are correct. You don't need stabilizer with structured hats. Awesome. Okay. Hey, JC Productions. He says, one question for you. When you do your head, how do you use the gem to have pop-ups? Because as a blind person, I started using a gentle hat hoop. It worked perfect, and I was able to go puff 4 inches. All right, I'm going to reread your question again. JC, okay, one question for you. When you do your head, okay, I guess you talk, how do you use the gem to have pop system? I don't know which to. Okay, I'm assuming that when you say when I use my head, which is my single needle machine, my one head, and use the gem. I don't know what you're referring to when you're talking about the gem. As a blind person, I started using a gentle hat hoop and it worked perfect. I was able to do puff in 4 inches. Okay. JC, I really wish I understood your question a little more so I could answer it and stuff. Maybe if you could retype it in the chat or something, I can try to help a little bit and stuff. Oh, Gen 2. Oh, yes. Okay. Okay. Thank you. I got you. I know what you're talking about now. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay. All right, guys. For those of you guys that don't know, okay. Thank goodness I saw that other comment that you put in there, JC. Oh my goodness. All right. For you guys that don't know, with the multi-needle machines, okay, they have different types of hat hoop systems, okay, to do. Now, what he's talking about is the Gen 2. Now, the Gen 2, and JC, tell me if I'm wrong or right or whatever. I don't have that one, okay? What I have is I have the standard hat hoop, that only does like the front of the front of the okay, that it does the front. Now, the Gen 2, what it does is it does the front too, but what the Gen 2 does is, notice how right here, look real closely. Notice how like right here, you have the bottom, right? And then you go up, okay? And then this is the embroidery area. With the Gen 2, what it does is it allows you to embroider a little closer to the brim of the hat. Another thing that I believe that the Gen 2 hat hoop enables you to do is it allows you to even embroider more on the side of the hat as well. So it gives you a larger embroidery area in your hat than the regular hat hoop, okay? And I've thought of investing in that hat, JC, for the simple fact that it does give you a larger embroidery space. So, he's saying he was able to do a 4-inch puff embroidery, which means that he has this extra space. Okay. Notice how my mom, okay, there's all this extra space. I don't have a ruler with me right now. Hold on. I'm going to try to. Yeah. So looking at here, you're talking about 1.5 inches. Okay. So the 1.5 inches, he has extra space. He has more space to embroider on his hat than what I do, because my space is not that big. Okay. My space is about, hold on. It's like about 2 inches. Okay. 2 inches of space. And it goes about like 2 inches to 4.5. 2 inches, 4.5, something like that. But he has more. Okay. So he could get like larger fonts in his hats, and he can even go all the way to the side if he wants. If I want to go to the side of this hat, because I have the older model of the hat hoop that brother had, then what it is I could embroider the front, but then I would have to use another method. I would have to pull out my fast frames, and then I could go ahead and I would use sticky stabilizer and use the same concept as kind of like when you're doing the flatbed machine. I would have to use sticky stabilizer, put it down, and then I would embroider on the side. So I don't know. So yeah, JC, yeah, I don't have the Gen 2. I wish I did. And and I'm gonna tell you something. These hat hoops for these multi-needle machines, expensive. They are not. They're not cheap. They are not cheap. That's why that's one of the things that I say about embroidery all the time. It is not a cheap a cheap business. It really isn't, because you spend a lot of money on hoops. Okay, you really do. Like, I like to use the mighty hoops. Mighty hoops are like about $150 a pop. Okay, and then when you're talking about the hooping stations, I mean, you're talking about a couple hundred. And these hat hoops and the drivers, they're about like $500, $600, $700. Okay, so it's expensive, very, very expensive. Not cheap at all. It really isn't. Let's see. Went to research something I bought for my dad, but never got to give it to him. That triggered me a little. Thanks for helping. Aw, Nancy. Yeah, because for those of you guys that don't know, me and my sister, we lost our dad about last month. Yeah, so it's been pretty big of adjustment, and stuff, when you lose a parent and stuff. That's one of the reasons why my mom is with me, because now she's got to get accustomed to a new life, and to be in a home where you had your husband there for 56 years. Very, very difficult. It's very life-changing. So she was doing good for a little bit and stuff, but then she started getting a little lonely and stuff. So that's when I said, hey, come up here, put you to work in here. But I didn't know she was going to be so lazy. So we're still adjusting. We're still adjusting on stuff. It's been really hard on all of us, because we were, we're very tight knit family. It's just me, my sister, my mom, and my dad. And when we lost our dad, it was kind of hard on all of us and stuff. So, but hang in there, Nancy. Let's see. I would love to learn to do puff embroidery. Got some of the materials from an event I attended in September 2022. Leslie, I do have the video. I linked it, so you would love that. Oh, okay. JC said, what I've noticed sometimes is that most embroidery are higher than 2 inches from the brim because of the way that the hat is created. So you need to call the manufacturer to go beyond limits. Okay. Yeah, but and you are right. And you're because this is the thing. He brings up a very, very good point. Man, I wish I had samples of more hats. I really do. Each hat is built different. It really is. And you know what? He brings up a really good point that now, JC, man, now you got me thinking. Okay, so now I'm like thinking to myself, okay, he brings up a very, very good point. When you're looking at an embroidery design, right? And you want to place it on a certain hat, you got to remember that every hat is different, right? You have your different sizes, like the fitted hats, and then each hat has its own different style. Like some are 6-panel and some are 4-panel. For those of you guys that don't know what the panel means, that's this right here. This is a panel, right? This is a panel. This is a panel. This is a panel. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a 6-panel hat, okay? You have some hats, and I think I only have 6 panels, don't I? Yeah, I do. You have some that are 2 panels where you have the fabric is just one piece here and then one piece in the back. That's like a 2-panel. Then you have like a 4-panel, which is like this is stuck here, this is stuck here, and then you got this, like, I don't know if I'm making sense, but it's the less of the number, the more solid of the area is. And the thing is, the rim, like he's saying, right, is that each is so different. Every hat is so different. So sometimes you got to think about that as well, and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you can maybe work with your digitizer to try to get things a little lower and stuff. But JC, I know if about you're saying because of the way the hat who is created, you need to call the manufacturer to go beyond limits. You kind of do. You have to you got to know the hat you're buying, and you got to really which is why one of the things that I like to do, which is kind of like what I did here, was when I found that place that sells the hats, I saw a couple of hats that I liked, and then I said, let me just buy a small sample set. That way I could get one of a certain style that seems to interest me. And then I can stick it into the machine and I can see how the stitch out looks, and I can see how it actually, the spacing between the rim and where the actual embroidery is. Hey, Mello, come here, honey. He wants to say hi. So, you want to say hi? Okay, here you go. You want to say hi? You want to say hi? You want to say hi? Okay, everybody says hi. Okay, all right. All right. You got your little minute. Okay, sorry about that, JC. He likes to have his moment of fame. Like, boo boo? Yeah, you do. Okay, so, yeah, so you do have to, you got to, like he said, there's so many different types of hats out there, different manufacturers, different brands and stuff like that. You have to search and look to see what brand of hats you want to work with, okay? And the other thing that you can do is you can also reach out to other other embroiderers and see what are the brands that they're using to embroider as well, because you can probably get a better understanding of, like, of what works for them, but it also depends on the type of hat hoop that they have. Like he has the, Jay-Z has the Gen 2. I don't have the Gen 2. I should probably just bite the bullet and invest in that. I think I should. What do you think about that, Mela? Should we do that? Okay. So I should probably do that, but I'm going to look to see. I think after the Gen 2 JC, I don't know if I'm right. I think they came out with another one. I'm not sure. I think they might have, but I'm not sure. I have to see. I'm going to look to see, because if they did come up with another one after the Gen 2, I want to see what the differences are between those two hoops, and then I'll probably go for the one that kind of gives me the most flexibility for me to actually like create more better hats and stuff like that, because I like the idea of being able to embroider not just the front of my hat, but the back, the sides, the sides of the hat as well. Because sometimes people have these designs that are really, really nice, and they don't just want the front of the hat embroidered; they want the sides as well. They can come up, they got some really, really nice stuff out there and stuff. Hey, Alyssa, how you doing? Oh, thank you. Everybody loves my shirt. Crafty Puerto Rican did it. She did my shirt. What's the best way to package hats for shipping? Boxes, Angela, and stitches. I use the 7x7x7 hat. 7x7x7 box to ship my hats. You do not, and I'm serious about this, guys. When it comes to hats and shipping, you don't use the plastic bags. You use a box. And I'm going to tell you why. You don't know how that package is going to be treated at the post office by the time it leaves your facility and gets to the customers. Hats are very, very personal to a lot of people. Okay. I know my dad. My dad used to be a hat, he was a hat guy. He loved his hats. Okay. There are people that, I've even had an uncle that he loved his baseball hats, and he liked his hat to be prestige. So he would actually like lay it on the table and stuff like that. They don't want wrinkles. They don't want their bill to be folded or anything like that. Okay. That people are very particular about the hats. So the last thing that you want, Angela, is so that you make this hat and it looks gorgeous. You package it up, and by the time it gets to the customer, it looks like crap. And then next thing you know, you got an issue, because that customer is going to be pretty pissed off at you. So the best way is when you're going to package your hats, you make sure you put them in boxes. That's how I do it. Okay. I mean, if you don't have one, if you don't have a box, you go to Walmart and you go get that. The size that I use is the 7x7x7. It fits neatly in there, enough room for me to put my advertisement and stuff. I take the hat, I put it in a plastic wrapping, and then I put it in the box. That's the way to do it. Do not use those shipping bags. Do not. Oh, Karen uses a bigger box. She uses a 6 for one or two hats. See, I use the 777. That seems to be big enough for me. But now I'm gonna look at that size, because I wanna take a look at it and see. Because sometimes you could have a customer that buys more than one hat and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, do not use those shipping bags. I want to make sure, just in case somebody out there is thinking about that, don't do it. That's not how you ship a hat. You don't want to do that. You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems and stuff. Hey Michelle, how you doing? Love the stress patch hat. Thank you, Embroidery. I like it too. It actually turned out to be one of my favorite hats. And you know what I'm thinking about too? I was just looking at this. You could put a distress patch on a bucket hat. Maybe I'll do that. That'll look really cute on this. You can turn this into a distress hat with a little patch on there. That would look cute. Maybe I'll try that. And so that's going to be, oh, Karen, yes. Slow down the machines when doing a hat. Yes, I do slow down my machines when I'm doing hats. I have to be honest with you guys. I slow down my machine a lot for a lot of things. The only times that I actually have the machine running on full speed is when I have very simple embroidery designs that I'm doing. When it comes to small fonts, I slow down the machines. When I'm doing hats, I slow down the machines. When I have patches that have a lot of details in it, I slow down the machines. You kind of know what speed your machine should be at for certain things that you're embroidering. That's something that comes with experience. So, Yeah. So, but I do slow down my machine as well. Karen, I do the same thing. Let's see. Hey, J Love. Jeanette, do you have Fossil digitize all of these designs? Fossil is my main digitizer. I do have backup digitizers and stuff, but he is the one that I use, and I'm gonna tell you why I use him. I like his customer service. Okay. One of the things that I notice, I have tried other digitizers, and one of the things that I notice is sometimes like you'll place an order, you pay them, you get your file, and then that's it. The communication has stopped. One of the things that I really enjoy about working with Fossil is that when I am working with him, I can, ask him to do the work. He does the work. He sends me the sample. I like it, and he sends me the invoice. I pay him. I get my file. If I have any questions regarding the digitizing the quality, or if I need any kind of tweaks or changes to it, or advice on the type of weight thread that I need or anything like that, he is very responsive in answering all of my questions and everything. And to me, customer service is everything. You want it, and I did an embroidery happy hour about that, about running an embroidery business. And I talked about the difference between customer service and a customer's experience. Two different things, okay? And a lot of times people don't focus a lot on customer experiences. And that's one of the things that I like about him, is that not only does he provide good customer service, he ensures that the experience that you have working with him is of excellent quality. I love the time that he takes to talk to you and to make sure that you are, that you are happy with the file that you got. I thought, and I've never had an issue with him. So yes, he is actually my go-to person, Embroidery G. I love working with him. I think his work is top notch, good quality. Never had an issue. Never had an issue. So to me, it's all about the quality. And yeah, I like him a lot and stuff. Hey Jill, how you doing? I have been missing on action in YouTube lately. That's okay. I'm glad I caught your live today. Happy birthday. And those hate you made. Oh, the hats you made. Oh my God, I'll buy them all if I had the money. I'm glad you like the hats, Jill. Oh, Karen says she uses tearaway on unstructured hats. Maybe I should use. You know what? The next time I'm gonna do an unstructured hat, Karen, I'm gonna try it with tearaway stabilizer. But I think I'm gonna try to get. I have some blacks. Tearaway stabilizer. That's the other thing too, is I really sometimes wish that stabilizer came in more than the basic colors. I did find out that you could sometimes get like a beige color stabilizer, white and black. Wish they had a little more colors and stuff, but that's okay. Let me see. I stay away from the Embroidery G says the unstructured hats, I stay away from them because they give me issues that I need to figure out. I wonder, Embroidery G, are you using clips? Because that's what really helps me with the unstructured hat, is making sure that I clip them when I use the thing. The unstructured hats, I think, are fabulous if you are embroidering on a flatbed machine. Hey CJ, when you have a big name brand, let's just say the football brand, soccer brand, that's doing a hat, and they're doing the same thing as we do, how is it right in fear for them to charge hundreds of dollars? The same type of hat that we embroiderers could do, even when we don't have the trademark or the right to that sports team, and the adjuster is so, you get political now, but you're right. Think about, Think about what he's saying, guys. Think about what he's saying. These sports teams, okay? Because sports team it's a big thing, okay? You get these hats, right? The football teams, the baseball teams, all that stuff. Look at the embroidery on this hat, okay? I mean, you can do that, but he's right. I mean, they own the trademark, so they can't do it. You know, you know what I'm saying? They can do whatever they want, but the thing is, we can't because then we'll get in trouble for that because that's copyright, right? But if you think about it, the embroidery that they do, no different than how we could do it, and yet, you know, my husband has bought baseball hats, you know, and sometimes the baseball hats because it's you know, uh Washington Commanders or, you know, his football team or you know, whatever team it is he wants. Yeah, those hats, and he's right. JC is right. I mean, that thing is like $90, $80. I mean, top money. They want big money. And that's when you get the hat. And I look at it because this is what I do, right? We're embroiderers. I look at the hat and I know that hat was not no 80, 90, $100. Okay. I know that that fitted hat, I could have got that thing for $12. And I know that if I was able to, I could have had that thing embroidered and it would look exactly the same as those $100 hats. But it just shows you how, you know, how much money you can make on a hat. It really does. It shows you how profitable it is. Now, JC, you know the reason why they're making all that money is just because they owe that trademark, okay? And the team, and it's all advertising, okay? You know what I'm saying? So, but it doesn't cost that much to really make those hats. So just imagine the amount of money they're making when they're selling those things. And when they, and it's not just the hats either, okay? Think about it. I mean, they're embroidering jackets, they're embroidering beanies, okay? I mean, bags, you know, they're just selling it, you know, because, you know, they have the it's their advertising. That's how they make their money, you know, and stuff. But yeah. But yeah, Karen says the tearaway I use a rectangle and cut the right and the left corners off because the hat gets smaller on the top. Seems to help for me. I'm gonna have to try that and stuff. Hey Arlene, how are you? The weather here is really bad right now, and I keep losing my internet. I'm gonna have to watch you later. Oh, okay. Well, you can watch the replay, no problem. Oh, Nancy said Dollar Tree. There you go, guys. If you guys are looking to do practice hats, go to the Dollar Tree. A dollar, well, you know, I don't know why they call it the Dollar Tree. It's $1.25 now. You know, inflation went up. But go to the Dollar Tree, get those practice hats, and those are the ones where you can go ahead and you can practice and stuff. So yeah, totally agree. Get a bunch of practice hats. Who embroidered your delight? This is not embroidery, Sassy. This is rhinestones, and this was from the Crafty Puerto Rican. Okay, Julissa did this for me. Jenny, she did this for me. So this is, I don't know if you guys can see, but this is rhinestones. I don't know if can you guys see the bling? Oh my god, I just love this. It's my favorite shirt. I'm gonna wear it all month because it's my birthday month. Yeah, but no, this is it's rhinestones. It's not embroidery, Sassy. Let's see. Now my 60 weight thread and bobbins will be here on Monday. All right. What needle use when making 3D puff embroidery on a hat, on a structured hat? I use a 7511 sharp needle. That's what I use. Let's see. Good storm coming through here now in Connecticut. No cats and dogs. Oh, we seem to have nice weather here in Virginia. So far, we've been doing pretty good and stuff. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Um, oh, husband has some old hats. I'm gonna have to compensate and try for error runs. There you go. If you have an old hat, that you're not using anymore, why not? Why not? Thank you, Tammy. Linda, hi everyone. To do a baseball hat, does it have to be digitized for a hat hoop? Tried a hat one time and the logo ended up too high, couldn't get it down lower because of the hat hoop. Yeah, Linda, sometimes it is the hat hoop. Okay. Like I said, my hat hoop, it's always I'm always going to have this space right here. There are some machines that have special hat hoops that let you go a little closer to the brim. Okay. If you have a single needle machine and you are using this method, you're kind of in a better position because you can actually embroider it wherever you want on that hat. Okay. So you call the shots on that. Okay. But when it comes to a multi-needle machine and you have the specific hat hoop, depending on the hat hoop that you have, that is actually going to determine the space. Mine will always have that space in there because that's just a hat hoop that I have, which is fine. It kind of works, So yeah, so it depends. Let's see. I want to make sure I have everybody's questions. Yes, that'd be great to make a video on how to hoop hats on a 10 needle machine. Yes, Anna, I will be doing that. I got to get that a long time though. I got to get everybody out of the house, so I can do that and stuff. Can't wait for your video on how to set up the driver. My hat driver is still in the box. Okay, Jen. Well, you know what? I'm not even going to say it's not hard. Okay, because like I said before, it took me a while to figure it out. But once it clicks and once you figure it out, then you'll never forget. And you'll be like, oh, this is great. I got it. I got it now. But I will tell you, I struggled. I was reading the book. I was watching videos. I was like, how do you get this sucker in there and stuff? And then I had to figure out, how do you hoop the hat? Because my hat wasn't hooping correctly. So I am going to do a video of it. And then as I do the video, I'm also going to tell you guys some of the mistakes that I was doing when I was putting in the driver and using the hat hoop. So hopefully you guys can get a better understanding of how to actually use it. It can get a little tricky. But once you got it down packed, then you're golden. You're golden. Then you're really going to love doing hats because you're going to be like, oh, hats are easy. Hats are easy. Not a problem, and stuff. Now, the one thing that I will say, though, about the hats, just so you guys know, I know that I do a lot of local embroidery, work. And a lot of times I have customers bring me their products for me to embroider. One product that I will not take from a customer to embroider is a cap, a baseball cap. The reason why is because if something does go wrong, I need to be able to replace that hat. Okay. So to me, what I prefer to do is talk to the customer and let them know what hat do they looking for. And I'll show them a catalog and I'll have them order the hat. And then that way, when the hat comes in, I will, they can pay for the hat up front, but I need to know where they ordered it from. Okay. And it has to be a place where I can order it myself if I have to get a replacement. And usually what I kind of like to do is I like to order the hats because what I'll do is I'll order 3. Because usually if I mess it up, then I have the hats right there and I can go ahead and I can just embroider it, stuff like that, and give it to them. And then I'll just return the other 2 or whatever. But, I don't like taking, those type of hats, baseball hats from customers. I just don't feel comfortable doing that. I just don't. I'll order the hats. That's what I always tell them. I'll order the hats. I'll let you pick the style of the hat, and I'll order the hat, and then I will price you the hat with the embroidery and stuff. So that's usually how I do it. Let me see. So much easier to do a hat with the hat attachment for 6 needles free arm rather than a flat machine. It is, Michelle. It is. The To me, like I said, the hard part is learning how to put the driver in and hoop in the hat. But once you have that, it's so golden. You're good to go, and you can just run with it. But a flatbed machine, there is a little maneuvering that's going on, but it has its benefits too. Because you don't have the issue. You can get as close to the rim as you want. You can you can embroider on the sides. You can embroider on the back. It's a little more flexibility to me, I feel like, on a flat machine than on a multi-needle. But it is easy on both sides. Both ends has its benefits. That's how I see it. Where do you buy? I buy my hats wholesale. I get them from a company called Atlantic Coast Cotton. That's where I get them from. Another place that I do get my hats from, Allison, is I go to jiffyshirts.com. That's another place you can get the hats from. I have bought hats like these. These are the ones that have the Velcro in the back. I've gotten these right off of Amazon. You can get these 12 in a pack. Very reasonably priced. Okay, and they have all different colors as well. These are the structure ones. I've gotten these and I've sold these, and a lot of people like these too. There's various places that I go and I get them. What are the sizes you need to shrink a regular design to fit in a hat using a hat attachment with a 6 needle? What I do, Michelle Woods, is I use Embrilliance. So if you go into Embrilliance, you will notice that you can select the hat size hoop. And once you have that in your, once you select that hoop, you make sure that your design fits inside of that hoop. Okay, so if you look in Brilliance, you will see that Embrilliance does have, I think Mello took something from my table. Mello! Guess I'll find out later what it was. Okay. he just steals stuff from me, I tell you. He is really sneaky, I tell you. Mello, come here, boy. What did you do? What'd you take from my table? Can I see what you got in your mouth? You don't have anything. Okay. All right. He looked like he did. He looked like he took something. But anyway, yeah, if you look in Brilliance, you'll select a hat hoop, and I can tell you right now. Let me look on here in my computer right here. The hat hoop is settings. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. It's 130 mm times 60 mm. That's the size, which is 5 inches by 2 inches. That's how it is. Yeah, that's the approximate sewing field of the hat hoop. Okay, 5 inches long, 2 inches height. Okay. Hey Annette, how you doing? Wow, it's storming in Connecticut. Oh my goodness. Okay. Hey Marco, how are you? Let's see. It seems to calm down. Let me see if I'm gonna make sure I got everybody's questions and stuff. And I think I do. Would you stick with your brother machines, or would you go and get a bigger multi-needle machine, like a 20 needle? No, from Macoma, industrial machine. JC, I did play around with the idea a little bit. But the thing is, right now, the machines that I have right now are sufficient for my current needs. Okay. And I'm gonna be honest, I have no more space. All right. My son is still in college right now. He, until he is set I think when he's done with school, he'll probably end up moving back in with me and my husband. Um, if I do get a 20 needle machine, a bigger machine, I really don't know exactly what brand I would go with. Okay. Honestly, I really don't know. I know that right now with the machines that I have right now, I have been pretty happy with them. They have met all of my needs, and they work fine for me. And they're good enough for me to handle my workload right now. And I've gotten a lot of orders and stuff, but they've worked really, really well. So I don't know, in the future, if I got another machine, would I get another brother machine? Well, brother machines only has up to 10 needles. I wish they had one with 15 or 20. That would be great. I don't know if they have one for the future, but I am happy with the brother machines. I do like the capabilities and the features that they do offer. I do know that the other machines are just, as good too. Um, you know, I really don't know what machine I would go for, honestly. I did go visit Racoma with my sister, and I got to tell you, I kind of really like their machines. I I do have some friends that own Racomas. They seem to be pretty happy with them. Um, you know, I really don't know. I've looked, I've considered the one with the B. I think it's Brienne, something like that, and then the JSK. I think is that the other machine that I've been thinking about too. But right now, in my current situation as of today, and probably until like maybe next year, I think I'm going to stick with what I have. I think I'm going to stick with what I have because it's meeting my current demand. So I'm okay with that. But I really don't know if I go industrial, what machine I would go with. Um, you know, um, would you would welcome if you purchased the mom floral? Oh, I will post that, Catherine. I will post the link to that font in the video description. If you guys are interested in getting that font and stuff, those hats are awesome. Mello is here. He's right here. You want to say hi, Mello? You want to say hi, Mello? Look at you. Oh my goodness. Mello's right here. My mom and Fred are hanging out downstairs and stuff. Karen, been watching you for a while. Purchased a Happy Japan 12 needle this week. Can hardly wait to get it working. Oh, happy machines, Catherine, are very, very good. I have a girlfriend of mine that lives in Minnesota, and she has nothing but happy machines. I think she owns like 7 of them, and she has been using happy industrial machines for a long, long time, and she loves them. So I got a feeling you're gonna love those. Um, you mentioned you buy the baby quilts from. Yes, I do. I do not have a particular vendor, Anna, that I use. I usually go with the one that has the best price. Okay, I am not vendor specific. I'm price specific, but I do get them from Alibaba. Yes, um, they're really good prices that there you'll get. Hey Kathy, I just got the brother 10 needle. Your video just popped up. Oh, I love my brother 10 needle. And it's funny because I have the 10 needle and the 6 needle, and I like them both. I like the 6 needle because it has a laser pointer, and I like the 10 needle because the 10 needle has the scanning capability. So, I like them both, and I still use them. At one time, I was actually thinking of taking my 6 needle and trying to trade it in to get another 10 needle. I can't do it. I like them both. I really do. And they both serve a really good purpose for me. So, yeah. So, I'm going to keep them both and stuff. I have a video on how to price rhinestones on a hat. Oh, okay, great. Oh my God. Because I'll tell you what. I mean, I know that rhinestones on a hat, I think that would really sell and stuff. Catherine says, "Oh, I have an 8-way press that included the hat press." Yep, there you go, Catherine. There you go. Oh, Embroidery G says she has a Racoma. Oh, yeah. Well, you know the Racoma's headquarters is close to my sister's house in Miami, and we went to visit them, and we actually took a look at some of their machines, and man, it was really nice tour of looking at their machines and stuff like that. It really was. Um, Sofrito, yeah. um, I'm not a cook, but I have to try my lessons. Yeah, my mom's really good at cooking and stuff. Well, she could cook and stuff. Oh, good night, Nancy. Okay, let me see. Mistakes or lessons. They sure are. Okay, I am scrolling down because I know it's getting late. It's like 10:30, guys. It's like, oh my goodness. I did the coqui and the Latina rhinestones. Good idea. I'll place them on Etsy. As soon as you put them on Etsy, make sure you text me because I need to buy them. Let's see. Do you have any Melka or Racuma machine? If so, the maximum amount of hats that you have to embroider. I do not have a Racoma or a Melco. Melco is not even a machine either that I would consider. I hear, I don't know. I mean, that machine's never interested me. The Racoma didn't really interest me either. However, though, I'm hearing a lot of positive things about that machine. Yeah, the Gen 2 hoop system. Yeah, I gotta look into that, JC. I really, because I want to get a better hoopy system, and I know that the Gen 2 is better on, with the getting closer to the brim of the hat and everything. So I am gonna look at that and stuff. But it's like so much money. It's like, you know. um my machine are used Gen 2 hoop system. Yeah. Oh, thanks. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, I'm trying to go down and see, make sure I answer everyone's questions. Hey, Miss Max. Oh, let me see something. Where's Miss Knight too? I was looking for Miss Knight because Miss Knight gave me a birthday super chat last weekend, and I didn't get to thank her and stuff. And I'm like, oh, so I just wanted to make sure that I thanked her live. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to put a note so that the next time she goes on our live, that I get to say thank you to her, because I really like to personally thank people when they you know and stuff. So Karen says I have 3 brothers, 2 flat and 1 free arm. I actually like my brother machines. I really, really do. I have actually all my machines are brother except my quilting machine. That is a Juki. I have a Juki TL 2010Q. And that's the machine that I like to use for quilting and stuff, even though I haven't really had much time to really sew on it and stuff. But I really love that machine though. But it's, I have it right here next to me and stuff, looking at it now. But I'm gonna have to really get back into it and stuff like that. But anyway, guys. So, guys, I am going to call it the night. It is 10:30, and as always, this embroidery happy hour always goes over the hour. But as promised, the first hour, I always make sure that I explain all the information that I can possibly give you guys, and then I just spend the rest of the night just talking with you guys and everything. But I hope you guys found this video informative, and I hope you guys liked all the hats that I showed you guys and everything. I will be doing the videos, especially on how to do the famous distress hat. This really came out to be my favorite. Really, really has. I will post the font on the video description, because I know someone has shared that they had some interest on that. And the other method that I was talking to you guys about if you don't even want to embroider it, doing sublimation and then sticking it on here, I'm going to do a video and I'm going to try that out too, because I did purchase some more of these hats, of these little sample hats and everything, and really for me to just try out different things and stuff like that. So as I start exploring and trying them out, I'm going to videotape it so that way you guys can see what was a good thing, what worked out and what was a failure. You know what I'm saying? So let's just see and play around with it and stuff. I mean, and get creative with these hats. So guys, I hope you like this video, this embroidery happy hour. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I hope I answered a lot of your questions. And if I didn't, just put a comment on there and I will try to get back to you guys as soon as I possibly can. As always, I appreciate all the support you guys have given me, and I'm going to just keep on rolling, and I will see you guys every Friday for whenever. Okay, so I really enjoy these Fridays together with you guys. So you guys have a great weekend. Be safe. Have fun embroidering. Get creative. Do your thing and have fun. And I'm also going to do a video on this bucket hat, because I know somebody was asking, and I'm going to do this bucket hat on the single needle machine, because I want to show you guys how to do fantastic stuff on the SC1900 or the SC2000 or whatever flatbed machine you have. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great weekend. Stay safe and have fun doing your thing. So I will talk to you guys later then. Bye.